walk and scheduled. So it is 75 degrees Fahrenheit. And I made a mistake yesterday when I said it was like 16, 17 Celsius, just because that's not my go-to temperature. It's 24 degrees Celsius, which is beautiful, 100% nice and cool to walk around in. And we are super blessed and happy to be here on this beautiful Saturday morning in northern Thailand. Okay, so let's get to it. We're gonna do. We're actually gonna add a half a kilo to our walk to make it a full 7 kilo walk. Normally we were making it about 6.5 kilos, but we started off pretty much at 6 o'clock in the morning on Friday. What is it? August 2nd. And yeah, man, let's see how long it takes us to get this job done and see what we see along the way. 6 a.m. in the morning, Friday, northern Thailand. 75 degrees Fahrenheit, I checked it, and 24 degrees Celsius. And I checked my weight yesterday, by the way, if anybody cares about that, which I hope you do. I know you do. We all care about that kinds of things. I got down to 109.6. So that is a definite bonus, motivational thing, to see the weight decrease, absolutely about that, But it is another beautiful Saturday morning, or another beautiful morning, which happens to be Saturday at 6 o'clock in the morning in northern Thailand. And we're going to take a route that we don't normally go down. I've been down here many times in the past, over the last 20 years or so. My mother's, that's too bad. My wife's mother has a house with her husband down. There's a little irrigation going on over there and everything like that. So, but this is like a little bit longer of a route, which is fine. I got to up the. Oh boy, what's that? Something. Oh, this is so sad. I know that these birds they mate for life, and unfortunately, I saw two on the road just over there. There's nothing I can do. It's got his partners passed around, and its partners, one is still alive, trying to. Oh boy, that's so sad. I don't. Hey, Jared North, how you doing? Good morning. It's a beautiful Sunday morning in Thailand. I can't pick up the bird. I mean, I know it's just not. It's not going to be. It's not ethically right for me to. I don't know whether they're being poisoned, or which is a possibility. They're being poisoned by the farmers because it's rice season, and a lot of those birds they eat the rice. But I really can't say, I can't really speak to that because I'm not sure. I don't know. But there's nothing I could do. I'm serious. I cannot. Ooh, how do you like this house with a whole bunch of dogs? Look at that. I mean, unfortunately, this is something I can't do. I love animals. My wife loves animals. We try to nurse animals back to health every opportunity that we get, But that looked like a real end of life situation because there were two other ones that were on the road that were fully deceased, and then there was one on the side of the road deceased with one left over that looked like it was in the process of leaving us. All right, that's too sad. Sad to see in the morning, even though it is still a beautiful morning, and these kinds of things are happening all over the world by the hundreds of millions. So it is the circle of life. And yeah, man, look at the sky. Look at that beautiful sky. And I want to tell you something about this beautiful sky. Well, I just want to look at this 1 second. Just take a little bit of opportunity to take a look at the sky. And I wanted to tell you, have you ever seen anything more beautiful than the sky like that? Always take the opportunity to sit or stand and take a look at a beautiful sky, because there is nothing on this planet, artificial intelligence and or human, that can recreate the beauty that you're looking at right now. And there is no person alive on this planet who has enough money to, they could have all the money in the world and they couldn't buy that view. And that view right there, that's available for all of us no matter what. And that's why I believe in a higher power than myself, and I believe that this is something just so beautiful that's available to all of us, and equally available to all of us, which until something's done about it. So hopefully they'll not. It's like bottled water. You can't bottle the sky, or can you? Hopefully not. But I'm telling you, man, that's the most beautiful. That's such a beautiful thing, You see that, and you realize you could have $100 trillion billion, and this right here, this is created for all of us to enjoy the beauty, and hopefully be good custodians of it. And generally, poor people, I consider myself a poor person. I mean, when I see poor people, I mean people who don't have like millions of dollars in the bank, or charge of like multi-billion-dollar corporations and stuff like that, because those are the people that are actively destroying our environment on this planet, which is something I'm very much against, and I'm sure that you guys are too. But anyway, check out those mountains in the background over there. Right? You see that? And this is all rice field. This is all rice field, and rice is this rice. The water, the soaking right here. That's not good. That's not what they want for the rice, because it can tend to rot. But harvest season is coming up soon, and that's going to be a lot of happy people when rice harvest season comes, and that happens twice a year. Rice farmers generally don't make a lot of money, but they make enough to almost sort of like a subsistence living in a way, unless you're like some sort of Mac Daddy with like huge swaths of land, and that's usually up to the multinational companies and stuff like that. My wife and I used to do rice farming. We don't take a little better look at that, because this is really something else. Look at that. Think about that for a second. Do you see what I'm seeing? Because I'm seeing something so absolutely beautiful and divine. On this Saturday morning at 6:09 in the morning, I'm seeing this and looking at this. Man, sometimes I have like, you can just let your mind roam and stuff like that. I don't think there's an artist that can paint this. How could you possibly paint something this beautiful? I don't know. Or even make it with AI generated computers. But maybe they'll figure out a way. I don't know. Jared North in the house. All right, so back onto the exercise part. Enough about this beautiful beauty thing and stuff like that. So this is a rather nice strip of, it's not a highway, main road. And eventually we will hit that main road that we always hit, but we're coming at a different angle. And here's a traditional Thai wooden house that you don't see every day anymore. I really love those. Wood just has that quality that cement doesn't, But we all know, wood is a lot more expensive these days than cement. It's decreasing supply. You know, like, it takes years and years to grow trees and stuff like that. But there is one piece of thing that I do know about, and that is bamboo. Bamboo is like an amazing, amazing thing that you can use to regenerate and stuff like that. Look at that. Why on earth would somebody have put that pot there on the side of the road with that? Well, maybe we don't want to know. Maybe it's something we're not supposed to know about. Maybe somebody's making hooch. You know? Could be. You never know. Oh, there's a road that goes, a little path going in. And okay, so right on my immediate right is this is the school here where elementary, basically elementary. I think this is like K to 6 or something like that. You know, here and yeah, they've in recent years they've added on and actually modernized it quite a bit. And yeah, hopefully the children get a good education. I was thinking about actually teaching chess because I have taught chess to K through 12 before, and just donating my time to teach the kids how to play chess, which obviously like helps with the cognitive reasoning and thought and stuff like that. But that hasn't happened yet. All right. Well, there's always something to see. So I don't know if we're going to come up across any of these trees. So I like to identify flora, right? Specifically on the property that my wife and I live on, because I don't know, it's just something to do. It's kind of interesting. It's actually not kind of interesting. It's really interesting. And I guess not on this road, but on the road that we were walking on yesterday, there was these wonderful tall trees called lin fa. Lin fa is it's a medicinal tree, and it was all lining the highway and stuff like that, right? But I don't see any lin fa over here just yet. But I'll show it to you when we pass, if we pass one, right? And so, and what it is it's not a fruit. It's a tree, and they have these seed pods that look like long tongues hanging from the sky. That's how it gets the name lin fa. Well, that's one of the names of it. But initially, its name was like Indian trumpet, but it has another name, which I'm very certain has a real reason for it. And this has to do with the fact that people eat it for medicinal purposes, and the accepted nickname for this plant is called midnight horror. And I guess you could just use your imagination as to why it's called midnight horror. If you eat that, you might have a midnight horror. You know what I mean? Ah, that's cute. What do you call him? Young father and son getting their morning exercise. So, if we see one, I'll show it to you. But generally, this over here is a mango tree. Mangoes haven't grown yet, but they will. Oh, this is an interesting one here. Check this. I want to show you this. Now this is a lot of lum yai. This is you see these brown seed pods, whatever. This is called lum yai. I don't know what it's called in English, but boy, oh boy, this is a lot of lum yai. And not only in just that tree, they got more lum yai over here. Look at that. This is kilo upon kilo. This is probably a couple hundred kilo of lum yai. Wow. Look at that. People love to eat lum yai. I like lum yai. It's a nice, it's like, there's a big nut in the middle of it, right? So you like peel off the brown skin of the ball, and there's like this fleshy content, and it tastes kind of a little bit sweet. Has a nice texture to it, and it's I don't know. You eat it, and you feel kind of refreshed. I don't know what the vitamin qualities in it, but I could imagine it's probably high in vitamin C. But then again, I really have no idea, unless somebody could tell me what the English. And I'll look it up. I can look it up later, but I don't want to go off the screen to find out what lum yai is. And lychee? Is that lychee? Do you think that's lychee? Lum yai can be lychee? That's a possibility. I don't know. I'm gonna look it up. My first guess is lychee, but I'm not sure. But and so then there's a sha'om plants. The really people eat them here up here, around here. I don't particularly care for sha'om. It's because it's a tree, you're eating leaves, and leaves. But if my wife or somebody makes it, this is a mango tree right there. All right, and this is I know what this is. It's a fruit tree. So it does bear fruit. I forget what the name of it is though. Okay, all right, keep going. And then you have banana trees over here. Bananas are grown. Bananas are grown quite prolifically. So you get lots of bananas, a lot of corn, mango, and this tree here, it looks like, oh boy, what kind of tree is this? I wish I knew. What kind of tree this is. Well, it certainly has they have nice small leaves and stuff like that. Okay. This here I believe this is a small linfa tree. Linfa grows much higher and has seed pods just like this. You see the seed pod? But they grow about like I don't know, 10 times longer than that. So I'm not sure if this is a linfa or not, but it could be a young linfa. But I don't think so, because we have a linfa in the back, and the blossom here is yellow, and I don't think the blossoms on our tree are yellow. So this is probably another kind of tree, but probably has some edible qualities to it. Yeah. Wow, isn't it such a beautiful morning? 75 degrees, 24 degrees Celsius at 6:20 in the morning on a Friday morning. Right? Doesn't get much better than this, especially if you get a little bit of exercise and stuff like that, Keep the the blood flowing through the brain and everything like that. You keep your mind sharp. That's really critical. And I really applaud the like the millennials and the generations that came after Generation X. I really applaud them because they have taken extra measures to be physically fit. They took it. They ramped. Obviously, people have always, throughout history, a certain percentage of the population has tried to stay physically fit and have done so. But there's I have seen with my own eyes. Hey, what do you call? Somebody, I've seen markedly with my own two eyes that the generations after Generation X have really taken on the spearheaded this physical exercise and being health conscious, which is absolutely fantastic, and it is probably a revival from something that the way it used to be, because I'm sure that garbage food, and this laziness and stuff like that probably came from only a 50-year period in the world, and that had to do with the advent of the all that McDonald's and Burger King and all that garbage processed food and stuff like that. So, because if you look at pictures of people from 100 years ago, they are much thinner, much more fit. They look a lot less happy, but they certainly are much more physically fit than people who are like the end of Generation X. When Generation X started getting to be 40 years old, I guess, or something like that. It seems to me that a lot of them sort of gave up on the physical. Although I do remember, the advent of the health clubs and stuff like that was really big back in the 90s too. So it just got bigger and bigger. So wonderful to see people keeping in shape. That's absolutely fantastic. This walk's going to be a bit longer today. Here's another little canal for irrigating the rice fields. All these canals, they have fish in them, and people come and eat fish to add to their diet. And this, I can tell you, I'll show you something here very interesting, is these trees here. This person is growing these trees, all these trees here who are in a line like that. These are called donsac. And donsac are teak trees. And if they're maintained properly, which I don't think this person's getting them, trimming them is, if you trim them more often, they become thicker. The energy, the energy of the tree will stay to make it thicker. Something like this one right here, and they make incredibly strong wood for building purposes. We have a few of them on our property. Now I know about these trees. These trees with the bark and everything that's coming off of them are. The only memory I have is my wife telling me that they are a invasive species. But that's all I can remember, because that was 20 years ago. She told me about that. All right. some more banana trees growing and up. All right. Some more banana trees over here. We don't see too many elephants around here. I'll tell you that much. There are elephants in about 100 miles from 100 kilometers or so from here. Like they have elephant camps and stuff like that. But they don't come down here. And they do have wild elephants too, like a lot of wild animals, and a lot of land that is, procured for preserving the natural state of affairs. Although we all know that it's never enough. I mean, we've got to, like, whatever land we've set aside for animals and stuff like that, and then nature, and we've got to increase it by 100-fold at least. And sad to say, I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon, unless there's like some sort of a major revolution. Oh, right. So, like, I don't know if any of you guys have been on this walk with me before, but I want to show you something. We're going to pass through here. I want to get a clear shot of it. And that is, if you remember that we were walking on the other road, and remember I told you my number was 2525, right? Well, that's the back of the Watt, and its number is 2525. So now we know where we are. What do you have here? Good morning, Sobit. Good morning. Sawadee Krap. How are you? How's everybody doing today? You enjoying this little walk with me? I know that I'm very thankful and appreciate you guys coming out for this walk with me. It's like, it's a community, Anyway, so that's the back of the Watt, which is a little further over. And it has that number 2525. So planes, like, I guess when planes fly over, that's sort of like a demarcation point as well. I guess this all belongs to the Watt. Oh, so the Watt does come all the way back over here, out into the back. It is quite a large compound, and the purposes of this, if you can see the inside, the beautiful spire and everything like that, and the beautiful ornate green in the back and stuff like that. Wow, it is super beautiful. And really, really, really beautiful. Sawadee Krap. So boom, 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 boom. Here we go. Keeping a good pace. So, any of you guys in the chat want to give a shout out from where you are, or would you like a shout out? Anybody's birthday today? Yesterday we had somebody's birthday. What was her name? She was from Italy. Her name's on the tip of my tongue, but I can't fully remember. All right. I can see the turning point just up ahead. So we did fantastic time so far. There's all these cafes open and stuff like that. I just see so many cafes, and I know the price. I mean, they just can't be making too much money. But God bless them. You know, in this town, it is sort of a bit of a struggle to make money as far as like if you're gonna like open a store or try to sell anything here. I think a lot of the people who live here work either in the rice fields, they have their own rice lands, or they work in some other like industry sort of factory type jobs that they can go to. I know that there's a lot of automotive plants that are opened. So people have those jobs, but it can be quite, it can be a bit, bit difficult, not easy, It's not like you're gonna be on easy street. All right, here we go. That's right. We made it onto the turn. We haven't been this way for 20 years. It's been 20 years since we walked this route. And today's the first day in 20 years that we're walking on this route. Not much has changed, as far as I can tell. But what has changed, if you take a look, you see right up there in the beautiful sunrise over the mountains. I'm gonna zoom in on that because look how beautiful that is. You see how beautiful that is? If you keep going that way on the highway, you will end up in Laos. Because this is a major artery for thoroughfare for truckers coming from China. And this road, if you follow it all the way down, goes to Malaysia. So it goes, this road that we're walking on goes from China to Malaysia. So it's a major artery for transporting goods. But they are building a railroad, which should be operable in 2 or 3 years from now, like a high speed, train from this area. This is one of the areas that it'll stop at, and so connect like Chiang Mai to Bangkok. The train system that they have now, I haven't been on that in over 20 years. That was a fantastic voyage. I loved that a lot. And with that, that was like riding on a train straight out of like the 1940s or something like that. It was a blast. I loved it. I felt like I was like time traveling. Took that, do the train trip, which I would recommend for anybody who is visiting Thailand or even living here full time, or even if you're a native, you should check it out. You'll enjoy what I would say is a dying last vestiges of previous times. All right, so I think we're going to make a left here. And one of the reasons I want to make a left here is because yesterday, a fellow I know had an accident here and smashed up his electric vehicle. No es India, es Tailandia. Buenos días, Akira Toriyama. ¿Cómo se va? So he crashed his car, and it was not a real car, it's like an electric car, And He crashed it just up here. I want to see if it's still on the side of the road, because I was told that the police took it and they put it in the, in their lot, because it's actually technically an illegal vehicle and he wasn't supposed to be, whatever. Anyway, fortunately, he's all right and doing well. So that's the main thing. It's kind of difficult with people who get older. He's 77 and he doesn't want to give up his driving. The freedom of driving and stuff like that. But after a certain point, you really cannot allow people who have physical and mental impairments to operate vehicles. So they didn't put it in, and they have it like wrapped up with the that's his car right there. That's the one he crashed. He had the wheels all jammed up and everything like that. So I don't think that he's going to be riding that again. And I'm glad too, because it's for his own safety and for the safety of other people. He's had like 4, 5, 6 accidents. This is the first accident that he had where he actually hurt another human being. And actually, the guy that he crashed into, not at a high speed, but these things hurt. He smashed into the guy's ankle, and we know him from a long time. He's a super nice guy. If he wasn't a nice guy, he might have been demanding, all sorts of things. But fortunately for us, and fortunately for him, that he wasn't that badly hurt. We really wouldn't want to see him suffer any damages whatsoever. But anyway, so that is one of the lucky things that happened as far as that's concerned. Akira Toriyama, de dónde es? I haven't practiced Spanish in a long time. I like speaking Spanish, but it's been a long time. Mangalu Nayak, hello, good morning. How are you today? I hope everything is going nice and beautifully for you, right? It is a beautiful morning on Friday morning, presently 6:39 in the morning. And so let's take a little stop here to take a look at this canal. Everything looks good. So this was all storm, right? From the typhoon Whippa, all the waters was rised over the banks and everything like that. But no more. Whippa is past. I think I'm going to go around this way. And the reason for that is I don't want to... there were monks doing the morning alms, and I don't want to make them feel uncomfortable or anything like that, because if they see me walking around with a camera, or a phone, I don't know. I just try to be as respectful as possible to people's privacies. Oh, but actually, I do want to show you something on this side of the road, which is quite interesting. These people, if you check this out, right? These people have been living on the side of the canal for many, many, many moons. And when the water rises, you see their balcony. If you see the balcony is up real high. The water gets to be that high, but they do have a nice little view of the balcony as it is. It's quite beautiful. So It's like Venice, right? Oh, look at that. How about that? This guy is just sitting on the top. You see this? This guy's just sitting, this dog is sitting on the fence. Nice guy. Wow, look at that. He just chilling, you know? That dog's just chilling on the fence like that. That's like 5 feet, 5 feet in the air. He had to jump that, and we all know dogs can jump. He's a Thai dog, which is a kind of a razorback. There are a couple kind of Thai dogs. One is a really cherished one, and it's called a bunkao. Bunkao are like very fine-haired razorback dogs. They're very territorial, and they're very protective of their families and stuff like that. And they're used as a traditional guard dog. But you also have like the traditional razorbacks, which kind of look like a little bit like those like Doji coin dogs. What are the Shiba Inu or Inu Shiba or whatever. Same kind of like I think like they're closely related, as far as I know. Man, if you see any, except the Thai razorbacks are like twice the size or 3 times the size as, of a Shiba Inu. You know. Well, again, we're making good time. It is now 6:43 a.m. Friday morning on August 2nd of the year 2025. All right. I'm going to see if we can dip out onto Soy turning left to get back onto the highway and walk, do the remainder of the walk back that way, right? Because we didn't go there yet this morning, so that'll be a nice little cherry on the top of a walk in the morning. I'm trying to see if we can see any other. This tree here, I believe, is called rock rake, which means first love, and I think that's what the flower is. That flower. This is a fruit-bearing tree, I think. I'm not sure. I know the tree. I mean, like if somebody told me, I would know right away. Oh yeah, that's what it is. But like, right, the name of the tree eludes me at the moment. Like I've said before, and I'll always say is keep saying it because I really mean it. I appreciate you guys coming out on this walk with me. You know, all right. So here's this interesting tiger to scare off absolutely nothing, but it's kind of cute. Two roosters, ceramic, nice. Oh, that's nice. All right. I think we're going to take a left right up here. This is one of our main points in the walk. We just stay just for a few seconds for appreciation of water and water, the power of water. When you think about it, that's like an amazing amount of water just traveling through. I mean, how would you even begin to calculate how much volume of water was passing through? It'd have to be, it's got to be in the millions of gallons, I would imagine. But, and that's just a small thing. Can you imagine like much bigger bodies of water and stuff like that? It's always quite nice. And we passed the morning market and Sawadee Khop. And we're gonna dip down here by the side of the what? You know, let's check this out. You see this? Now, I've been told that this yellow, right, gold color is actually gold leaf, which I find, I'm sure that it's not all gold leaf because you can see some of the colors turning. But on some of the more prominent Buddhist statues, they are actually gold leaf, you know, and that's quite a feat when you think about it, right? But there's quite a beautiful Wat, and I don't think today's any kind of a holiday, but people come in and atone for their sins and pray for other people and stuff like that. Just like pray to, for goodness and well-being, just like all religions across the world. I guess, with the exception of Satanism, I guess. I don't know what they pray for. But here we go. I think today might be a Buddhist holiday, or if it's not a Buddhist holiday, what it is a event for a family, for a passing, pray for like the 100 days after the passing of a family member, which is probably more likely than not. Well, I love it when you guys, talking to chat and say where you're from and say good morning and stuff like that. Sometimes see you guys from other days, so But today, we had Jared, Sobit, Anindya. I can't read Thai, I'm sorry. But yeah, and Akira Toriyama. Akira Toriyama, you know what? That sounds to me like what's that country in South America that where they had the Japanese president? Because like they have like Japanese and Spanish people living there. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on a second. But he's speaking Spanish. But Akira, but he spelled it with a Q. Like if you spelled it with an A-K-I-R-A, I would have thought of Akira Kurosawa or something like that. But I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, I don't know. And Mangulo Nayak, I'm going to say it's from Malaysia or India. Just my guesses. If you guys feel like confirming if I'm wrong or I'm right or whatever, that'd be cool. Oh, there's the old familiar cornfield. Soon we're going to see corn husks on there. I wonder how far in that goes. I'm not going to walk in and try to find out because it's not we don't want to be trespassing, right? We don't want to trespass anywhere. Up. All right. Oh, so like I was talking about like the honey mangoes and stuff like that, right? Well, here's exactly what I was talking about. It's a honey mango on the ground, right? They grow everywhere over here, and I when I was in the United States for a brief period of time, I was doing like the gig working, doing like Instacart and stuff like that. Anyway, I'd go to the produce stuff like sections, and I'd look at the produce and stuff. I'd look at the mangoes, especially. Oh, mangoes! I don't know what it is, like $1.50 a mango, $2 a mango. And after the first month or two of being in the United States, I called my wife up in Thailand, and I was like, "Baby, didn't you know we're millionaires? There's mangoes everywhere. If we could just send them over here, we could easily get like 1 million mangoes and ship them over here. You know, I mean, they're like everywhere. You know." Oh, so if you were here when I was talking about the Lin Fa, so here is a Lin Fa tree. They're quite high. They're quite high. Good morning. What do you got? They're quite high up, right? And here's what they have. They have these hanging seed pods, right? And these hanging seed pods people eat them. They're not a vegetable, they're a flower, and not a fruit either. And supposedly, they have medicinal qualities. If you can look even closer up at the over there, right? They're just hanging there. They'll fall. People cut them off and then they chop them up, put them in a stew or something like that, and eat them. And they do have they 100% have some medicinal qualities to them. But like I was saying, the interesting thing that I thought, I did try it. I'm not a fan, but the local Thai name for that tree is called Lin Fa, right? Which means basically like sky tongue in the sky or whatever, because of the long seed pods. But if you look it up, like the other names it has for it, like more, I guess in other regions, it's called the I guess because it looks sort of like an Indian trumpet. The name that stuck out to me the most it's called Midnight Horror. And you can only use your imagination to figure out why it's called Midnight Horror. And I'm gonna guess that if you eat a lot of it for dinner, by midnight you're gonna have a horror. That's my guess. I don't know. Why else would they call it Midnight Horror? All right, we're getting down to the last final strip of our walk this morning, and we should be back at the house probably within under 10 minutes. So we're doing pretty good. I haven't seen my buddy. I call him my buddy, but yeah. We've passed each other 3 times so far on these morning walks, and so far for the 3 times he's walking on the other side of the street, and I'm walking on this side of the street. So sort of get that unity, thing, Our turning off point is in eyesight. Okay, everybody. I guess I'm going to end it now. It's been a wonderful walk. Like always, as always, thank you so much for taking the time to come with me on this walk. And you get to see something maybe you don't normally see. And I also get the benefit of having, you guys with me. Which gives me a lot of confidence to continue on my weight loss journey. We're going to see how much the weight is today. At the high point, we were at 117 kilo. We are hopefully under 110 this morning, so we should be hopefully that's what it is. Basically, as far as the weight loss thing goes, I'm saving the before and after pictures for over a period of time. Don't want to keep doing it like every single day and whatnot. So just to sort of see the full transition. So that's coming in, you know, I mean, I don't know how long it's going to take, but I have to lose another 20 kilo, which is about another 50 pounds. And I don't know how long that's going to take me to do, but I'm not going to stop until that happens. You know, this walk is serious. You know, I get a lot of inspiration. I watch some people who've gone through this on YouTube, you know, for the transition period. They inspire me. You know, I mean, I see what they've been able to do, and I know that it's possible, and I know that that's what I'm going to do. So I do thank those people for making those inspiration videos, because it certainly helps me to give me what's called in Thai manjai, or a confidence to continue on. Anyway, I wish you all a wonderful, happy Saturday. It's Saturday, 7:03 in the morning. So our walk was an hour this morning. And God bless you all, and may you all have a wonderful, blessed day. Peace and love to everybody.